Mayhew and General Odinero, thank you for your testimony and for your service to our great nation. Mr. Secretary, in general, I want to applaud the efforts of the Army working with the Air Force, TRANSCOM, and MDA in deploying the THAAD battery to Guam last year, which, Mr. Secretary, you mentioned in your testimony. The deployment was relatively quick and remained successful. Although Guam had other missile defense assets providing protection, the THAAD is an added defense against North Korea aggression and their threats. And the people of Guam are very supportive of THAAD remaining on the island. But we acknowledge it may have to redeploy if other contingencies arise. So that said, can you comment on efforts to keep the THAAD on Guam and in the coming years? I understand we're looking at a change of the command soon, but what efforts are underway to keep that on Guam for the future? And also, to what extent are you considering utilizing the Guard to support and sustain THAAD on Guam?
I'll start and then turn it over to the Chief. First of all, I had as I think you know, Ms. Bordallo, I had the chance to visit Guam, visit those troops a number of months ago. They were fresh on the ground, were excited by the mission, and I have to say the Air Force, thankfully, was taking very, very good care of our soldiers during that visit, and I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to meet with you. You were busy doing the job of representing that great island here in Washington, but I did meet with the governor, and your statement that the people of Guam are very supportive was certainly reflected in his enthusiasm. As I'm sure you're aware, that stationing was led by the PACOM commander, Admiral Sam Locklear. He has theater responsibility. We certainly stand ready to provide the mission as he sees fit. This is a very high demand, low density asset. And as you noted, we'll have to make adjustments should contingencies arise. But for the moment, I think we're doing quite well. But Chief,
General, before you start, I just want you to know, Mr. Secretary, that I have taken a couple of Codels that have visited Guam out to look over the THAAD operation. General,
we are working with the Joint Staff we are at least working to see what it would take to sustain the THAAD battery there for the long term, and we're working with the Air Force. So we're taking it, and we're looking at it from an Army perspective. What would it mean if we had to sustain that there for the long term, in terms of rotational capabilities, the type of THAAD? So we're clearly looking at that and preparing. If that decision is made that we want to leave it there. The deployment has gone very well. We're very pleased with the support we've gotten there. I know the PACOM commander supports it staying there in Guam. So we are preparing and looking at the options that would allow us to keep it there.
Thank you, General. And also, I said, what extent are you considering utilizing the Guard to support and sustain THAAD? Yeah,
so what we'll do is we're still this will be part of our strategy. One of the things one of the options we're looking at, and I'll just throw this out there, is that not by more equipment, but increase number of crews and capabilities, so you rotate the crews on the equipment. So as we work our way through that, we'll look at all of the components to see how we can solve that problem. But that's one of the solutions we have, because we believe in the future this could be a problem not only if we sustain in Guam, but if we do other deployments around the world. And that's one of the options that we're taking a look at.
Thank you, General. I have another question. I have very little time left. The question is for either of you. I read about the Army's Pacific Pathways strategy in the Washington Post. My staff has had subsequent briefings on the matter, and we appreciate that the Army is trying to articulate its strategy for the Pacific. However, I am concerned that the strategy does not adequately account for the potential of the Army supporting additional missile defense capabilities in the Pacific. It also does not mention or adequately address the capabilities provided by the National Guard State Partnership Program. So I'm concerned this strategy isn't really taking a holistic look at the Army's future in the Pacific. Can you comment on this strategy, its way forward, and some of the items that I discussed?
Yeah, thank you. We are committed to supporting the Asia-Pacific region with our 80,000 active and reserve troops that are there in the region supporting them. Actually, we've funded a 27% increase in the state partnership program in support of PACOM in the budget. So we're looking to expand that program. It is a key program to supporting us. In fact, we are bringing states in to increase our relationship with the countries within the Asia-Pacific region. That's a centerpiece of this strategy. The other centerpiece is that it is the Guard and Reserve have unique capabilities that allow us to continue to engage on several different lines, and that is part of this specific pathway strategy. So I feel confident that as we move forward with this, it has to be a multi-component solution. It cannot just be one component. We need the whole Army involved in solving this problem.
Gentlelady's time has expired.
My time is
Mr.
up.
Rogers.
Thank you.